Hi, this is Mitch Doan, and along with Jamie Richardson, we're your hosts of the Break-Thru Active podcast. We aim to deep dive into health and fitness that will help bring you a better understanding of topics that are of interest to you and can help you on your own journey. If you are enjoying the episodes, we'd love for you to leave us a rating on the platform you listen to your podcasts. Enough from me, sit back, relax, and enjoy the episode. Hello and welcome back again to the Break-Thru Active podcast. I'm here with my main man. Main man Steve, live from my office with fancy lights that we've actually got put in that you might be able to see. How are you, mate?
Hey, honestly, I'm a bit sad, to be honest with you.
Why is that?
I'm a little bit sad. Everyone knows my beloved Cronulla Sharks. I'm still hurt. It's 2 days on, and it was a tough loss. If we lost by 10 plus, I probably would have been able to take it a bit better. But that was a hard pill to swallow.
It was a really good game. I know you're a Shark supporter and they didn't win, but it was like an awesome game. Like Cowboys scored right at the end, field goal, 2-point field goal at that. Good final footy.
Yeah, it was. I think I said to you earlier, like before, I said that from a mutual fan perspective of someone that's not a Cowboys or a Sharks fan, I think it was probably one of the most entertaining games of the year. You'd have to think that was just everything you'd want in finals football.
The Melbourne game wasn't super close.
Melbourne and Canberra.
That one, Penrith.
Yeah.
But the Raiders Melbourne game and then the Cowboys game and then the Rabbitohs and Roosters, although they weren't all close, they were all intense games of footy.
Yeah.
And I was watching it with my dad, my uncle, and we were just saying how elevated it is during the finals compared to regular season.
Yeah.
And it's to be expected because they just beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah.
Like injuries, head-high tackles. Obviously, there was like tons of them in that Roosters game. But the intensity just goes way up.
Goes up a notch.
And if they played like that all year, they probably wouldn't make the finals.
You wouldn't get through the season. It's funny, like even the Rabbitohs Roosters game it's like still ended up 30-14. Yeah. Bunny's getting up, and even though it was a 16-point deficit, it still didn't like that. That score doesn't show like how brutal that game was.
Nah.
That was one of the most intense games I've seen all year. That was unbelievable. But yeah, good first week of the finals because you know the three upsets. Melbourne were favourites, Sharks were favourites, Roosters favourites, and they all got beat. So it just shows anyone can win in the day.
Well, in our tipping comp, there was quite a few people who got 0 out of 4.
And I don't blame them either because it's reasonable tipping Parramatta to beat Penrith. They were in form, and the Nathan Cleary and co like backing them, played a game in forever. You'd have to think that they were a bit off, but they weren't.
And then the other 3 were just favourites.
Just cracking games. But week 2 will be interesting. We'll see what happens.
We've got a bit of a different format today. I stole this from a podcast that I listen to, and it's a segment that they do sometimes, and it's called 2-Minute Drill.
And they're also the world's number 2 podcast.
Yeah, well, can be one number 1. So
that's us.
Yeah, so obviously they're not number 1. The world's number 1.
We're the world's number 1.
We're elevated. We transitioned.
We're elevated.
We went straight past Australia's top podcast to the world's.
Newcastle to the world. That's it. Done.
Good stepping stone. But 2-minute drill. So I told Steve about this just before. We've both picked 5 questions each where we're going to ask each other, and we haven't actually prepared it, so we don't know what we're going to be asking each other.
No.
And although we're not going to be starting and stopping a timer, we're going to aim to talk for a maximum of 2 minutes as the response for each one. Give or take.
Just short and sharp responses. So no no bullshitting, like, to be honest. But yeah, it's
which will be hard for you.
Hundo. I'm a mad fuddy-duddy. But I'll try and get to the point with most of these questions. But yeah, it's super important to know. I don't know what Mitch's going to ask me, and he doesn't know what I'm going to ask him. But they're 5 questions of probably just different topics, I'd say. So
we said we wanted at least one health and fitness one each, and then the rest can be just whatever. So first time doing it, we'll see how we go. So you can start if you like, mate.
I'll start. So I'm going to start with the fitness question.
Right.
So the fitness question is, do you believe in the term sometimes less is more?
Yeah.
And why do you believe in that?
Well, I think when it comes to training, I believe that if people do too much,
Yeah.
Especially if they do it too soon. So if they are just starting out or they haven't trained for a while and they're trying to jump into the gym 5 or 6 times a week, they're more likely to burn himself out or injure himself, or just set that expectation to be too high.
Yeah.
I think if they feel as though they need to come 5 or 6 times a week from the beginning, then any less than that down the track is going to feel like they're regressing.
Yeah.
So from that standpoint, and when people start out, we always like to start them on 2 or 3 times a week, and unless they're just jumping in from another program and they're training. But apart from that, I think for most people that we train and most people in life, really, you don't really need to do something all the time to be able to be consistent and see results. 3 or 4 times a week is going to be a really good amount to be able to see strength gains, cardio improvement, feeling better, more flexible, all those good things that come from it. And I don't think you need to put that unnecessary pressure of doing more to be able to see change. And yeah, exactly as you said, like I think less can be more, because I feel like people can do less on a more consistent basis. Yeah. And if you do 3 times a week for a whole year, it's 150 sessions, as opposed to 5 times a week for 4 weeks, and 4 times and 3 times, 2 times and no times.
Yeah.
So I think playing the long game is important.
Is the key. Even like in terms of like people that have been training forever, do you sometimes think like a bit of a rest period could be beneficial to them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I know of people who are fit and they're strong and they've been training for a long time, but they always just end up having these setbacks because they are pushing their body to the absolute limit, and they end up hurting themselves, or they end up, some sort of niggling injury, and they have to go and do the physio, and then they're doing the rehab for that, and then they're sort of building themselves back up from that.
Yeah.
It's not a motivation thing, but it's quite the opposite. They need to be motivated not to train as much.
Yep.
Which for, there's a handful of people I know of who have a tough time of it. And personally, I do too. I like to be active and I like to work out. And sometimes I need to tell myself just to have a day off. Otherwise, you're kind of doing more harm than good.
100%.
Yeah.
I think it's just an important question to ask. I think there's a lot of people need to know that sort of stuff. So
good one.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to ask I've actually got 2 health ones, but first one, out of the rower, the skier, and the assault bike, if you were to only be able to pick one, that you would be able to use for the rest of your life, and it was from like a standpoint where you feel like you're going to get the most benefit out of it, but you could only do one, what would that be?
Oh, that's a hard one. Because there's so much benefits to all 3. I'd probably say out of the 3 of them, I'm going to choose the rower. I think just purely because I think I probably can do more of it, I think. And I think with the bike, I think in short, sharp spurts is probably the way to go. But I think like as I get older, I think maybe like doing long, lengthy rows might be more ideal, a bit less intense as well. So I think like less intense, you can do it for a longer period of time. You can burn a few more calories, and it's probably a little less taxing than the skier. I feel like you're able to sort of control the tempo on the roller a little bit more. So if in terms of order, bike would probably be last. Skier in the middle, and then I'd choose the roller long term.
Yeah, I agree. I would probably put the bike before the skier, because I think you get a little bit more full body out of the bike, to be honest. But yeah, I completely agree, where you're not going to sit on a bike and do 20 or 30 minutes.
No way.
Like straight.
No.
Whereas if you only had access to one piece and you wanted just to do like a long, slow endurance bit, half an hour or 40 minutes, pop something on your phone or whatever and watch it. You're not going to be able to do that on a bike. So roller's versatile, because you can sling it and do like short intervals where you flog yourself. You can do the 2 to 3 minutes where you're working at 90%, and then you can do the long ones where you're working at sort of 60 or 70% for doing it for a long period.
I'm just thinking about it now, because I swear, like ever since I turned 30, I'm starting to get a few little like aches every now and then. I'm starting to think like long term, and just like what can I do like without like fully like smashing myself. And I think the rower is probably the one that I could do a bit more lengthy workouts, burn more calories over time, even like as I get into my 50s, and 60s and stuff. In comparison to still like slinging rafferties at 60 years old. I don't think I'll be slinging rafferties at 60 years old, but yeah, I'd choose the roll. The roll's probably the one for me.
Yeah, I think so too. And the skier is a good machine. Where the skier comes in for a lot of people is it's really easy on the lower body. You're not getting as much sort of knee flexion.
Yeah.
If there was like at home, I've got that stationary bike, which is very handy. But yeah, obviously the 3 we have at the gym. Yeah, I'm with you, mate. Roll number 1.
It's funny you asked that, mate, because I've got a question, and it is another fitness one.
Right.
And it's funny, like it sort of rolls off this a little bit. And your question, mate, is if you could get rid of one movement in the gym and never do it again, what would you choose and why? Now, that doesn't necessarily have to be the hardest movement, or one that you just think, whatever. Like it's just one movement that you would just never do for any particular reason. Which one is it? You just never do it again. If you had to pick one.
So for me personally, if it was from like a difficulty standpoint, be thrusters. Freaking hate them.
They're terrible.
Freaking hate them. But they're a good exercise because you get your full squat in, you get your good like a press above the head, like a very compound. You get 2 movements in one and get really, really good bang for your buck. But so that would be the one for me. I'd be like, oh shit, that sucks. Like I hate seeing them. I hate doing them.
Yeah.
But from a standpoint of exercises I could take or leave.
Yeah.
There's quite a few of them really that we don't really do at the gym that I see on Instagram or other places that have like, they'll combine like a bow shoe ball, like the upside down ball, and you stand on that and you do like a curl and a press, and it's meant to.
Or just all that fancy crap.
Yeah, it's like just making it complex for the sake of making it complex. And there was like a little while ago, and they, all the studies say, if you're on a bocce ball, you have to keep your core tight, which is right to an extent. But then they just started putting all these different exercises on the ball, and you move on and off that. And I think anything with that bocce ball, to answer your question, would be piss them off.
It's over.
Yeah, I think in a controlled environment for a certain type of person, if they were recovering from some sort of specific injury, and they had like a trainer or a physio or an exercise physiologist or something, they could probably manipulate that to be really helpful.
Yeah.
But seeing it done in like a group setting or just random people doing it at the gym.
Yeah.
Piss off.
Mine would be jump lunges because my knees are shot to shit.
Yes.
So I wouldn't choose that. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't even be doing any rowing tomorrow, let alone being like 50 and 60 doing it. But in regards to just a movement that I just loathe every time I do it, it's a wall ball.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Which is interesting because you're tall, so like you're close to the target.
Yeah, but it's still hard just getting all the way down because I'm trying to get as low as I can as well, and then just shooting up. And I think anything lower body related at times for me is just really difficult. So I'd probably pick but having said that, the thrust, I don't do too many thrusters, but when I've done thrusters before, I'm always hating life when I'm doing thrusters. So they'd be right up there too.
Yeah.
Similar movement.
Well, they're the same. I don't mind wall balls because I'm not as tall as you, but I've got like pretty long arms, so I'm fairly close to the target. But just because it's lighter, I find that I've got no problem hitting the target like accuracy wise.
Yeah.
But yeah, something about those thrusters, just when you've got a decent sized bar or 2 dumbbells,
especially when you're loading up 50 kilo dumbbells on your shoulders.
Yeah, like
100 kilo thrusters,
like we normally do.
Yeah, on the warm up.
Yeah, of course. 100 reps at a time.
Just quick 100 keg.
Yeah.
But thrust is definitely difficult, mate. I think it's probably I think it's a unanimous thing. I think a lot of people would say the same.
Yeah. I'm yet to meet too many people who like them.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
Next.
Until tomorrow's workout. Thrusters, wall balls, jump lunges.
Anymore.
Yeah.
Back to back.
Righto. This will be my second health related one. If someone were to come to you, fitness, like someone who wanted some fitness advice, or member or friend or family member, they said, I want to start eating healthier breakfasts. Healthier breakfasts. What would be 3 that you would suggest for them?
So my go-to healthy breakfast would be probably overnight oats, just purely because just convenience. It's always pretty good, and I always just I throw some protein powder on it as well, and just make it a little bit chocolate.
Do you have anything with it? Peanut butter or something?
Yeah, I sprinkle a little bit of honey on it and put some banana on it. That's probably my go-to. I have a disgusting breakfast that whoever speaks to me about, they like, I tell them about it and they're just like disgusting me, like to the point they don't want to know me anymore. I don't think I've ever told you about this. This is my little go-to. I'll tell you, this isn't one of the three, but
been a secret this whole time.
Classic eggs on toast.
Mm-hmm.
Can't go wrong. Classic eggs on toast. I don't care how you have it.
Toast, scrambled, fried.
Don't care. Eggs on toast, slap that on. That's good. And I'm really big on convenience as well, and something that you can just easily do, because I don't like anybody skipping. So just a classic like smoothie, like just whack like a bit of protein in, banana, bit of yogurt, some fruit, some muesli, whatever. Just blend that up. Boom, Bob's your uncle. They're probably the three that I might go to in regards to what I've had over the last 5 years regularly. And they're just easy and just convenient. I think that's key as well. And they're all tasty too.
Breakfast has to be convenient, because unless you're working afternoons or something, like you don't really have much time.
Yeah.
So you need it to be quick and easy. And most people have blenders now. Like you'd be flat out to find anyone who doesn't have a blender in their house to blend up something. But yeah, eggs on toast, good. I have had overnight oats a bit and they're delicious. I just haven't really done it too much. I've been having warm oats and protein. So I actually like heat the oats up in the microwave for a few minutes. Yeah. And then it comes out and I make sure I've got like it's a little bit more watery. And then I put my scoop of protein in, mix it in.
Yeah.
But good. Yeah, I think it's essential. And all of yours had it, like you need to have a good chunk of protein in it. Because if it's very carb and fat based, you're just going to get hungry mid-morning or early lunch and you can end up overeating throughout the day. So I think having that decent amount of protein in it's really important. Yeah,
as I said, the biggest thing for me was convenience, because I just think everybody's leading busy lives now, and it's pretty easy to do all three. Making eggs on toast takes 10 minutes. Overnight oats you can do the night before, obviously, and smoothie takes you 5 seconds. Like it doesn't take you that long at all. But in regards to that disgusting,
I was going to ask, what was it?
The disgusting. Every time I've spoken to someone about it, they've had second thoughts about having me as a friend. Partner, son, my mum's
colleague,
disowned me,
staff member,
everything. So this could get me fired. But anyway, it's not Newcastle #1 podcast, but someone putting their balls on the line. Sure. Here we go. So I just, the ingredients aren't bad. It's just the mix. So what I've done in the past, I've put just a little bit of Nutri-Grain in a bowl, just a little bit.
So far, so good.
A little bit of Nutri-Grain, but then I'll put a bit of 2 Weet-Bix with it.
That's okay.
I don't know why people think it's disgusting. Then I'll put like a bit of milk, like just a bit of milk in, splash. Then I'll put the protein powder on top, a couple of scoops, a little bit more milk, but it's not like full-on protein shake. There's like little lumpy parts of the protein. Big, like chewy good, mix it up, mash it up. Some chewy goodness. It looks disgusting, but it tastes.
So question, because I've done this with people in some of our challenges we've done last few years.
Yep.
Actually shake up the protein shake first. So you put that in there, dry, your Weet-Bix and your Nutri-Grain, let's say, and then you actually shake up your shake.
Yeah.
And then you tip it on there.
Yeah, I've done it before too.
No, it's good though.
No, it's good, but like I
enjoy
really getting into it, because like with the chewy bits, it gives me a bit like longer of a time to enjoy my YouTube clips. So like I'm just like if I'm just eating it, I could just put it in my mouth and just gulp it down. But at least with the chewy bits, I'm going really taking my time, really enjoying a bit of UFC, NBA, but NRL, like good.
But you wouldn't suggest that to people?
No, I wouldn't, because that's just, I don't know, that's just one of my weird ones. Yeah, you need to be a special kind of human to enjoy that sort of stuff.
Well, my weird one, which I thought was like fairly normal.
Yeah.
Apparently it's not very normal.
What?
So tuna and rice, normal.
Oh, beautiful.
But add a big clump of cottage cheese in with it.
That'd be nice. What's people talking about?
Yeah, I've had like lots of dirty looks and like people turning their nose up at that.
I think that'd be nice. I haven't had it before, but I love all three. Yeah. So like,
mix them all together, mate.
What's wrong with these people?
And then the other one I have with cottage cheese is cottage cheese and peanut butter.
What?
Yeah.
Cottage cheese and peanut butter. Wow. It's funny that the one you like something else you have with cottage cheese is cottage cheese, eh?
Yeah.
I have cottage cheese and cottage cheese.
I have cottage cheese combined with a different type of cottage cheese.
Different brand, yeah. Cottage cheese into Coles cottage cheese.
Bit of bull.
Into Coon.
All. And then some Philadelphia cream cheese.
Alright. Anyway, that sounds like a nice meal though. I'd be keen to try that at some point. But I want to steer away from the fitness questions. steering away here.
One of the good stuff.
So I've got 3 more.
Mhm.
So I'm going to ask you, would you like to talk about annoyances? Would you like to talk about music, or would you like to delve into Steve's mind?
Do I get to do them all?
Yep.
Like,
Yeah,
just the
whatever
order.
you'd like. Yeah, would you like a question?
Let's leave Steve mine to last.
Yep.
Annoyances.
Annoyances, perfect. Okay, so what is your biggest pet peeve, and why does it annoy you as much as it does? Biggest pet peeve.
Work related?
Yeah.
Anywhere.
Just work, just the clients.
Oh no, I see all our members. No, are you saying at work?
No, just in general, like a general pet peeve that just anyone could be doing. I could be doing it now, just talking too much.
Yeah, you
Shut
are.
up.
Still here. I haven't left yet. Oh geez. That's a good one.
It's a toughie because there's a lot of pet peeves.
Well, I give Kate a hard time about this.
Let's go.
And it's about when you wash up, because we don't have a dishwasher, bit old
Yeah.
school, just got the normal sink and give it a good old wash.
Mhm.
And things that get washed up very poorly.
Yep.
So like we got the hot water in there, it's a bit of a soak if it's something that needs soaking. Give it a bit of a scrub, put it on there, dries and pop it away. That's how it normally goes.
Yeah.
And sometimes washing up gets finished, I'm putting it away in the morning or at night, and there's still just like a bunch of shit on all the spoons and the bowls.
Yeah.
And then you literally have to do the whole thing again. Like you start it over. But that first time that it got done, it was for nothing.
Yeah.
Waste of time.
You'd have a good time cleaning up my wheat bix and
Nutrient. With the dry protein.
Oh, well.
That you've left there from the day.
I'd be coming over for breakfast one time and one time only. That's it.
You'd be washing up.
Yeah.
And bring your own bowl.
Yeah, because that'd be a nightmare. But no, I
understand.
understand.
I'd like to have. I won't unless it comes to me like during this podcast. But that was just the first thing that came to mind there.
Yeah,
because I had a few things that came to mind with like my OCD. I've spoken about that before.
Yeah,
with like when I go to sleep, and I'm lying in bed, and I've got a wardrobe, built-in wardrobe, a sliding one, and if that's slightly open, I have to get up and shut it.
What, you can't sleep with your head?
Sleep.
Where did that come from?
No idea. If it's slightly ajar, like if I can see inside of the wardrobe, like at all, I need to hop up and close.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but you don't know where it came from.
Just can't have it open.
Yeah,
because it's meant to be closed.
That's normal.
That's fair enough. Yeah,
that's normal. No, that's all. I think that's. I like hearing the weird ones that people work that you don't normally hear. I enjoy that. But
what's your annoyance?
My number one. Oh, my number one's a stupid one.
It's all right.
So like,
you are stupid.
I don't like anybody not being social. I don't like that. So the thing that annoys me the most, and it's a mix of like thinking you're too cool for school, and I hate, unless it's prescription, I hate sunglasses inside.
Ooh.
Don't be walking into a Coles. Don't be walking into a shopping center. Don't be doing that and wearing sunglasses inside. Another one that bugs me as well when people are in the shopping centers and they have earbuds on, like just put the earbuds on, just walking around. What? Why?
I do that.
What's the purpose?
I
hate it. I'm done. I'm finished with it.
Get out.
That's it. This is the last. Hope you guys have enjoyed Newcastle's #1 podcast, because this is the last one.
Their own with
Finished.
splitting.
In the midst of Mitch being antisocial and me leaving my dirty crap in the bowls.
So it's not going to work.
But no, that's one of them. But another one that comes to mind for me is the one-uppers. So like if I tell you a story and then you say, oh, but hang on, and you try and one up the story.
Yeah, you're telling me about like a holiday to like the snow in Perisher.
Yeah,
it's like when I went to Queenstown.
Yeah, no, no, it's
Shut
not.
up, my story.
No, it's not. I don't like the one-uppers. So, but the main one in particular, it's a different one. It's just this. I don't know. The sunny's inside. I don't like the I'm too cool for school vibe. I don't like the fact that people being antisocial with others. I feel like we're getting it more and more antisocial anyway. So. It's not fun.
I'll defend myself slightly here because I feel like I have to all of our hundreds of thousands of listeners.
Yeah.
But I wear AirPods to the shops, not all the time, but if I'm like expecting a phone call or something, I always talk with them in.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of like having to stuff around with them in my pocket or whatever, I just leave them in. And also because I hate talking to people.
So people,
No,
yeah, because in the middle of college, you're just going to spin around and say, "Ha, nice 2-in-1 shampoo you got there." Just striking up the conversation.
Hey, go down to the cold section, get the Buller cottage cheese,
Yeah, I love that.
Get the Coon, get the Coles, get them all, mix them together. There's a nice healthy treat for you.
Just imagine that. Just how do people strike? Like people would strike conversations in supermarkets. I don't know what they're thinking, but anyway.
Yeah, interesting.
Ooh.
Right.
What do you got?
I'll tell you my three, then you can pick what you want. This is a movie related one, a uni related one, or a it's like a would you rather type thing.
I'm gonna go the uni one.
Right.
Just something.
This was the one before off camera when I said, "Oh, this is a good question."
Oh, I'm excited. Okay.
So, for those of you who don't know, Steve's got a communications degree.
Yeah.
I've got a business degree. And I mean, we don't use them anymore.
And that also means that we're the two smartest out of the six of us as well, because we've completed degrees.
But no, I mean, we get some use out of it. You write some stuff. I run some business stuff.
We just do stuff.
Yeah,
out of
a bit of stuff. I paid tens of thousands of dollars for a bit of stuff.
And millions of listeners.
Anyway, so my question is, what would your advice be to someone younger, or older, who wants to do a communications degree?
I would say I would give them the advice that it is really, really hard to land a job in it, because I can still remember today. It was in year 2 of the degree.
You would have been too young to get. Oh, I didn't say year 2.
Yeah.
So I'd probably be
I was a wizard. I was Sheldon Cooper of Australia.
I was 7 and I went to this job at Channel 9 and I didn't get it.
I was a professor in year 3. In my second year of communications, I still remember, and everybody went into panic stations. I can still remember this really vividly. And they said that one of the professors said the percentage of people that end up working in the media that come from a communications degree, like each year, was something like 7%. So it was like really, really
bit of a motivational speech for the professor.
Oh, stupidly low. Like honestly, we all like I can still remember everybody leaving and just like thinking, like, what am I doing in this course? Like, so my biggest thing would be, if you're going into a communications degree, pretty well, if you're not in it 100%, don't bother. Because it's super hard to get a media job out of it, because it's like stupidly competitive, like being like trying to become a journalist or a radio presenter or a sound editor or a producer of some kind. It's really, really difficult. But like any other job, but yeah, the percentage is just super low. So if you're not 100% in it and your heart is not in it, I would think about doing something else. Because the jobs are pretty minimal coming from it. Yeah. What about yourself?
Well, about communication. I'll touch on that quickly, because apart from you, I've got a couple of friends who have done communications. A few of them have done in combination with law, so they just do law stuff now. But my cousin, actually, she did it, and she ended up getting a job with the project.
Yeah,
I think I've told you that. Yeah.
Yeah.
She did really well, and now she's moved to Scotland with a partner. Anyway, so she's doing very well.
Hey guys, just very quickly, if you have been enjoying our podcast and you've been watching us on YouTube, I would love for you to subscribe to our channel. If you've been listening to our podcast, give us a follow, give us a 5-star rating on Apple or Spotify or wherever it is that you've been listening to us. It really helps the channel grow, and I would be extremely appreciative and grateful if you took a moment to do that for me. Okay, that's it from me. Enjoy the rest of the show.
But business-wise, like it's probably similar, really, to be honest, similar advice, because it's not the type of thing, same as communication. Like if you go and do a nursing degree or you do a teaching degree, or you come out like as a lawyer or a teacher or a nurse, whereas you don't come out as a communicator or a business person. It sets you up to obviously get work, but it's not that type of degree where you know exactly more or less what you're going to be doing. When this was late 2000s when I did my degree, so the business world was very different then. Like there was no social media, there was no, like I remember internet marketing was like a small, like I learned that like 1 week out of like 13 in one subject out of the 24 that I did.
Yeah.
Like, and now it's 90% of how businesses market through the internet, whether it be social media, website, whatever. So we were learning stuff about like flyers and branding on the side of a bus and things, which still happens, but it's not nearly the same as what it is now.
Yeah.
So it's a very different environment, but it did put me into that headspace where I started to view the world as everything was a business, more or less. Whereas, and you might be able to speak to this, I remember like before that in high school and whatever, like, let's say you go to a gym, I wouldn't even really think it was a business. Like, I'd just be like, oh, this is just a thing where you just turn up and you just train and this person works here and
that's it. Yeah.
Like, and it's so stupid, like thinking about it. But I remember like learning more about it and thinking, oh, hang on, like they actually need to make money to employ that person, and they need to, this equipment can break, and it's just the way that you kind of view it. So I remember and learning all the different aspects of it. I learned about economics and accounting and finance and all the like some basic legal stuff about business. And I thought, oh shit, like there is actually a lot to it. So I got my head into that thought process of everything is a business and that's how the world works. But I didn't really learn as much specific to what we're doing now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the curriculum is probably very different now. But if someone's interested in business and they're not 100% sure what they want to do, I mean, I don't think it's the worst thing. But you just need to weigh up, like, do you want to spend 30 grand on it? Or do you could spend 30 grand and do your own, like you can pay for courses and things that are a bit more specific to what you're after.
Yeah. Well, the only one last thing before we move on, the only reason I say that about comms pretty well is, journalism in regards to like writing for the paper and stuff like that, that's dying now. So print media is
same sort of thing,
dead now, right? So the amount of jobs that are out there in that regard, like, is getting less and less. So it's mainly in the world of digital media. So yeah, if you're not, I just think that if you're not 100% involved, if you're not 100% into it, if you're sort of umming and ahhing about what to do, and like you're still umming and ahhing about whether this course is for you, but you still have interest in communications, I don't know if it's for you. I think you have to be 100% knowing what avenue it is that you need to take, like whether you want to be a journalist, whether you want to be in sound production, whether you want to be a radio announcer, whether you want to be anything, you have to know that path and just go bang in regards to comms, I think.
Yeah. Last thing I'll say on it is I've sort of discussed this a lot with Jamie over the years, and like looking back, I'm like, oh, should have I done that degree? Like I'd still be right where I am now, probably without it. And then I'd have all the money because I wouldn't have had to pay my hex off. But when because I went straight after school, I finished school when I was 17, like I was a young finisher. So I started uni when I was 17. No way I would have been able to I would have had my life together to go and get like a job or like set up my own line of study. If I was like, oh, I don't want to do business, I just want to like study fitness business. And there might have been like a unique course that I could have found somewhere. But uni kind of just provides that platform to have stability for a few extra years until you are ready to get your life together. Because like I said, I was 17. Like I don't have my life together now, let alone 15 years ago.
Yeah, that's right.
So I think at that point, I don't know what else I would have done, because the only other option would have been I would have got like a job, and I would have obviously been earning money instead of spending it. But I don't think I would have been developing skills within that job that would help me in my career.
Yeah, 100%.
So, yeah, it's interesting.
I hope that fit the 2 minutes.
Yeah, I think that was about 1:30, so we just got in under time.
But that one's a bit in depth. Like, yeah,
we try our best to keep under 2 minutes.
But that one's in. Yeah,
told you it was a good question.
2 hours.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's right. That is a good question. But yeah, if anyone's listening that wants to do comms degree or a business degree, well, there you go.
Apply for Break-Thru Active instead.
That's what I did. Thanks. Here I am. World's #1 podcast. Unbelievable.
It's all happened.
It all panned out okay.
And that's communications, mate. Podcast. Who would have thought it?
But here I am, doing what I was meant to do. Done deal. Thanks, guys.
Refute that.
Mate, I'm going with the music question here.
Righto.
And I was talking to a few people today at 9:30 at Adamstown about this, and I just thought to myself, I'm going to ask it.
Mm-hmm.
So, mate, do you think the hatred for Nickelback is fair?
No.
Why is the hatred for Nickelback not fair, mate?
I think I don't, to be honest, I don't really even know why it is so hated. Like, I think it's because all their songs kind of sound similar.
That's why.
And like all the actual,
Mm-hmm.
like, I can understand why musicians or whatever, like music purists would hate it because they all sound very similar and they're very like generic. I guess the way you play guitar and shit, I don't know much about it, but that's what I've heard. But I think they've had some really good songs over the years. And they've
a few songs that you might sing at karaoke on the 24th of September.
Mate, if someone was to do it with me. But no, I mean, they're not my favorite band, but I like some of their songs.
Yeah.
And like I said, I don't have a music background, so I don't know the ins and outs of that. But yeah, I think they're fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
What do you?
Nah,
you disagree?
No, I'm just jaying up here. I think like I'm not the biggest Nickelback fan. Like I wouldn't say I'm a fan of Nickelback, but I think the hatred for Nickelback is utter crap. I can't. It really annoys me. You want to know why it annoys me? Because there's so many other bands out there and so many other loved bands that sound their songs sound the same. And you know who the first one comes to my mind is, and people are going to hate me for it, but. You know, Newcastle and the world's #1 podcast.
A bit of controversy.
It's AC/DC. And let me tell you, AC/DC is one of the world's greatest bands. But if you go through their catalogue, now whilst there are differences, they do sound similar, and nobody bats an eye there. But Nickelback
isn't like a bit of the argument that like every band has its like unique sound.
Well, yeah,
so it's like AC/DC, and even if you don't know like the song, it's like a newer one or like an older one that was like not on their best of.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, that's AC/DC.
Yeah,
but because you can just sort of hear this sound.
Yeah,
and isn't that kind of the same in Nickelback?
That's
like,
what I think.
Yeah,
I think the same. Like plenty of my favorite bands, like the one that jumps out in particular for me is like Led Zeppelin is one of my favorite bands, and like they do hard and they do soft stuff, but so do Nickelback, right? But a lot of Led Zeppelin's hard stuff still, like the riffs in that are different, but it's still got the same vibe to it. So I sometimes just think the hatred for Nickelback is just, it's like people just jump on a wagon, because like
I think it became like cool to not like them, and then it was kind of probably in that era when, well, not the era, but when it kind of like mainstream versus non-mainstream, and they're like the opposite to non-mainstream, like they're on all over the radio and everything years ago. Yeah, I do agree. Like they all sound similar, but is that like a? And again, I'm not a music person, so like other people, if they are music people, might be like, yeah, well, they all sound the same, but they're all different in this respect. Whereas Nickelback are literally playing like the exact same chords. I don't know if that's true.
So, like, I think everybody needs to can the Nickelback hate right now. Chad Kruger, if you're listening, mate, I think you've done a phenomenal job.
He's listening.
Chad, yeah, sure. He's a fan of Roger Federer, right? So, Chad, if you're listening, mate, I think you've done a phenomenal job. And just quietly, I think the Spotify like listens are going to go through the roof for Nickelback now. And just wouldn't mind some royalties out of that, Chad, just for giving you a plug. So, what's up on podcast?
They sponsored the show today, so thanks, Chad and Nickelback, for sponsoring the show.
Thanks, Chad.
We'll be waiting for our check in the mail.
Appreciate
and then just watch your listens.
You can give us a few nickels back. Ha, ha, ha. Oh, boy, that's a bad joke.
Yeah, you were waiting. You
I played it all day.
I
played it all day.
Okay. I'm going to ask you this one. So, you have the choice.
Yeah.
For the rest of your life, you could have free petrol.
Yeah.
Or you could get free shoes.
Yeah.
Unlimited amount of shoes, unlimited amount of petrol.
Yeah.
What would you choose?
Petrol.
Okay. Why?
Because I can travel Australia like for free.
What about your job?
Yeah, but I got free petrol.
And I'm going to quit your job because you got Mitch. Yeah, sorry, mate. Got to throw it in. Got free petrol. Yeah, I'm traveling.
Do I have a Caltex card? Or is it just,
nah, I'm driving and just.
So I can't buy food. I can't just randomly roll up and just say, oh, hey, I'll have a sausage roll and a can of beef.
Fuel and
thanks,
a couple of muggers.
Fuel?
Now,
oh yeah, that's
hard. For a moment, because if you think about it, like how much would you spend a week on fuel?
Oh, $100.
$100?
Yeah.
Okay. And then it's like, that means that every month you could buy a really nice $400 pair of shoes, and you could just have this huge wardrobe of shoes, be fashionable. I know you like your fashion, mate. Yeah, people are pretty good.
I think, you know what? I'm throwing it in.
Gym shoes.
I'm throwing it in.
Pretty fuel.
I'm traveling Australia. Thanks, everyone. Peace. No, look, if I'm really like,
reason I asked this
that's hard. That is
because
hard.
first up, you're like, oh, fuel. Like I've only got a couple of pairs of shoes, but then like you would start. You could buy any shoes, and I know some people like shoes, especially like well, guys too, but some women love shoes. So the thought of having, you know, however much, and it depends how much you drive too. But it's an interesting.
You know what? That is actually interesting. Because the more I'm thinking about it, the more I'm leaning towards the shoes. Yeah, because you know, like I would like to eat from week to week as well. I wouldn't just like to survive on water and good sightseeing.
Yeah.
Cheers, everybody.
Cottage cheese holds well in an FD, if you're wondering.
Yeah, that's a hard one. No, you know what? You actually swayed me. I think it's shoes.
I think I would too.
I think it's shoes actually.
I drive around to the gyms and around, but I'm not like traveling like a stupid amount every day. If you're spending $200 or $300 a week on fuel, I get it, obviously. But if you just crunch some numbers,
get
some pretty good shoes, and then you just pay your petrol like you've been paying. Happy days.
And just drive to Australia anyway.
Because you wouldn't start driving a lot more. Like sure, like you wouldn't, like a little bit more. Like I got free fuel, I'll just go for a drive. I don't think that would happen.
I'm just going to drive to Perth.
Yeah, come on,
just got it.
4 weeks off, please.
I'm going to Kakadu.
But you just go to the shops and you just buy like 10 pairs of shoes. You know, sweet.
So I can't just buy one pair of shoes. Like I can buy as many pairs of shoes as I want. Oh yeah, shoes.
Yep.
Because can I resell them?
No.
So I just own them.
Yeah, you can't make a business out of it.
Sweet, I'm going to get fuel. Nah, shit. You know what? I'm actually changing it. I'm going to go shoes because I think in the long run, I don't think it would matter too much having stupid amounts of fuel in the end.
You only use so much.
Yeah,
you got the best footwear in town
in the world. No, I'm going shoes. I'm locking it in. That's it.
I would too, mate.
I'm going for the shoes, mate.
One more each.
I'm going to take you down the rabbit hole, mate. This is coming from the mind of this is
Stephen Cooley's mind.
Fully walked question.
This will be tough. I'll try to keep it under.
It's not really,
minutes.
But here it is, mate. So if it were a person, which piece of fruit / vegetable would be considered to be a great bloke or chick?
This is a pretty normal question.
Yeah.
What do you mean this is warm? This is very standard.
Very normal.
This is actually what my last question was going to be.
This is pretty. Anyone that knows me would think this is normal chit chat. So there it is, mate. If you're looking at a piece of fruit or a veggie and you're pretending it's a human, you think it like what it would be like as a human being. Which piece of fruit or vegetable would you look at and be like, you know what, that piece it'd be a great bloke or a great chick?
Carrot.
Carrot?
Yeah. Carrot would be a good bloke or a good chick.
Carrot. Okay, tell me what carrot would be.
Well, it's been around forever. It's not like newly popular or anything like that. Like it's just pretty standard. It's pretty stock. And
your experience with rangers have always been popular.
That's right.
Not right.
Absolutely.
Perfect. Yeah.
But it goes with a lot of different things. Like it's not just, you can't just only have it with, you know, whatever. You can have it with salad. You have a bit of a burger or a carrot burger. So you like my carrot burger.
So like it can, situation.
You know what? Actually, I'm changing my mind.
What is it?
Changing my mind. I'm changing it to onion.
The onion? It stinks. It makes people cry. Are you kidding?
I'm thinking of its versatility.
But who wants to be around someone that stinks and makes people cry? Stinky.
I'm sticking with onion. Because it goes with a lot. You can have, because I was thinking about the carrot burger and there's no such thing. No one has carrot on a burger, I don't think.
Okay, so tell me this.
So from a versatility and a usage standpoint, onion goes with a lot. You can cook it, you can have it raw, you can have it cooked, you can have it on the barbie, you can have it in a salad, you can have it on a burger, you can have it with burrito.
But I want to say again, stinks and it makes people cry.
Well, you tell me what a perfect fruit is. Then,
I'll tell you what a perfect. I'll tell you right now.
So you ask me a question, and then I answer it, and then you say I'm wrong.
The onion.
You just wanted me to ask you back.
The onion, mate. It's clear. It's as clear as day who the best bloke / chick would be.
Picking it apart.
It's the banana.
too
The
brick.
banana.
It doesn't last very long.
No, it doesn't
Only
matter.
lasts.
Doesn't matter.
How often do you buy bananas and they're bloody green, and then you can't eat them because they're so hard? You actually try to eat them prematurely and you peel it, and then it's so rock solid you can't even do it. And then you finally get like a 2-day window when you can eat it, and then it's bruised.
No. All I can say is this: the banana doesn't discriminate, right? Everybody, doesn't matter what socioeconomic status you're in, whether it be you're a higher class citizen, middle class citizen, lower class citizen, the banana is for everybody.
Well, turn the clock back about 15 years ago. One banana, $14. Remember?
Yeah, it was crazy.
When it was like there was a shortage.
And I just think the banana is
because onions are really expensive.
But you know how like in the morning with the convenience, you just go the classic old banana. There it is. Trust the old banana. Put it in the smoothie. Oh, you want a smoothie? Oh, okay. Trust the old banana.
Trust the old bruised, unripe banana.
You know what? If you've got the free fuel card, you go into the fuel 7-Eleven, free $1 banana. There it is. Like the banana's just there for everybody. So that's what I think.
I
think
like bananas. I was just trying to.
Who doesn't
disagree?
Who doesn't like banana? But you didn't finish. Sorry, it was very rude. I actually tried one up on you there, which is something I hate.
Yeah, I hate hypocrite.
But why the onion?
Well, I didn't think about it from like how it smells or how it looks or how it makes people cry, but it does have several layers.
I like that.
Like most people.
Yeah.
Like us, very mysterious because you're not really sure what layer you're going to get.
Okay.
And it's versatile. Like you can have it, like I said, salad, burger, sandwich, burrito, tacos, cooked, barbecue, uncooked. There's different types of onions. There's red,
and there's
purple,
brown.
There's brown, isn't it? Yeah, red, purple, brown. You know what?
There's red, and red.
Yeah, and there's a lot of versatility with it.
So would you be friends with?
And it's very affordable. Like they're cheap.
Would you be friends with someone who's super versatile? You know,
cheap.
Yeah, cheap, but smells like shit,
makes you cry, Well, if they make you cry because they're always saying nice things to you, because you're cutting it up. It's not like it's making you. You know what you're getting with the onion. You're cutting up thinking, oh shit, this is going to make me cry.
Thing, if the onion stinks and it's got bad BO, you're feeling pretty good about yourself. So maybe the onion could be a little sleeper. There it is. I'm interested to hear what people say about that one. What veggie / fruit would be the like as a person to be a really good bloke? The onion, the banana, or something else? There you go.
I'm going to have to change my last question since mine was going to be the exact same.
Yeah,
just such an expected normal question.
Yeah,
but I'll go with this one instead.
Hit me.
So for anyone over the age of 18, I just want to make that very clear. So no kids.
Yeah.
Someone, let's say they were from the depths of Africa and had never ever watched TV or movies or anything, but they spoke and understood English and the rest of it, so you don't need to worry about that. And they could only watch one movie one time. And they said, Steve-o, I've heard you on the podcast. I just haven't been able to watch any TV. I said, what I want to know is what is the one movie I should watch?
I'll toss up between two. But I got to pick one.
Well, tell me both, and then
the first one's the two that popped in my mind. The first one was Pursuit of Happiness with Will Smith. Just purely from the inspiration side of things and like never giving up and that sort of jazz. I think, and it's relatable. It's a true story as well.
So don't think as much about like the African part. Like
I'm just thinking about just like as a life lesson, right? That or the Shawshank Redemption is the other one, because you can't give up hope in life, right? And the fact that matters is probably one of the greatest movies of all time. I'm going to lock in the Shawshank Redemption. There it is. It's pretty standard, but it's one of the greatest movies of all time, and the message behind it is powerful for everybody. I think everybody can watch it and take something out of it. That's my answer.
Okay.
What's your answer?
Well, I was thinking something, and this is biased, but something a bit more like, when I think of movies, I either think of like drama, or comedy. That's just how I like. Most movies you can kind of have in one or both of those.
Yep.
And I was just thinking, if someone's never watched a movie before, I want to give them something to laugh at. So I'm thinking comedy, and then I'm thinking, well, what's my favorite comedy movie?
Stop it.
And it would be Adam Sandler,
Oh,
1990s.
please. What are you saying, Billy Madison? Happy Gilmore.
Probably Billy Madison.
They've never watched a movie before. They're going to watch Billy Madison. And they're like,
back to school.
They're like, oh, can't be friends with penguins anymore. Like, or like, I don't know, like, I don't want to like help shave someone's armpits.
It's funny.
It is funny.
They'd have a laugh.
I get it. They would have a laugh, but
because there's no laughing in Shawshank. It's a great movie. It's one of my favorites, but you're not having any ha-ha moments.
Yeah,
but in Billy Madison, there is a little bit of never giving up too, because he gets through those hard times and ends up finishing school. Gets the woman.
This is we're really under the rabbit hole in this one. Just quietly,
I kind of coming from you with the.
I kind of like
it with the onion versus.
I kind of like it, but I don't know, mate. The Shawshank Redemption is just. You know what? I can get behind it. I get what you're saying, the whole Billy Madison thing. Having a laugh, and I think we're clutching at straws here regarding life lessons.
So Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah.
So someone watches it and they think, if I ever end up in jail,
yeah,
I'm going to be able to get out.
Well, here's the thing: they could think that work is jail. They could think their home life is jail. Just anything, any situation. They could think being in a shopping center with people with like glasses on is jail. How do I get out? Never give up hope. Find the escalators. Get out of Westfield.
They might turn to a life of crime and be like, "Doesn't matter. I'll just end up in jail and tunnel myself out."
In tunnel myself out in like a pile full of crap and all that jazz. Yeah. Well,
interesting.
I just it's just one of those things. I just think I think I went down the path of more. If there was like which movie's probably the most must see.
Yeah. Of
all time. And I'd probably say if you haven't seen the Shawshank Redemption, that's probably the one.
Yeah.
But like that.
Yeah. I agree. If someone was like, say they came from another country and they didn't really see many English movies.
Yeah.
And they said, "Oh, what's like the best movie? Like what's a good movie for me to watch?" But go to see this one.
Shawshank.
Good movie.
But having said that, Billy Madison's one of the greats. Regarding one of the great comedies of all time. So man, I'm not hating your answer. The onion answer is a bit funny, but we'll soon find out if anybody agrees with the onion being a good bloke. If anybody
I should have gone back to the carrot.
If anyone has any friends out there that really stink and like make people cry, I would love to know like how long you've been friends with that person.
Maybe I should have gone back to the carrot.
No, can't make that answer. The onion.
But the onion has layers.
I like the layers answer. The layers
different colors. I'm being like politically correct.
The carrot.
No, one color, orange.
No.
Onions have different colors. So like, just like we have different races, they have different colors.
And
how many color bananas you got? You got green, which no one likes because it's
green,
not ripe. Then yellow, and then black.
But I'm just talking about like the fact that the banana, not coming from like an outsider's perspective, but I'm talking about the banana. The banana would be a great bloke just because bananas just doesn't matter who you are. The banana loves everybody. Up the banana
for 2 days, up until it gets bruised.
Up. That's right.
Not edible.
And then it's transformative. It transforms into banana bread.
Yeah.
Banana cakes.
Yeah, because everyone keeps that.
Yeah.
Bananas.
Yeah. And their cakes. I don't care if it's rotten. Whatever. Banana.
Up banana.
Love the banana. That was fun.
Yeah. Good. I like that question.
Keen to find out what people think about that.
I'm gonna have to. I'll have a few extra questions next time because you'll steal mine again, like the
banana,
the fruit, vegetable, good bloke, good chick one.
Yeah,
it was too expected.
Because that would be like anybody that knows you, right? Being that sort of person.
What's Mitch going to ask? He's going to ask like, what piece of fruit? If it was a guy or good bloke, good chicks. So yeah, that'll be company.
Yeah, that's right. And everybody knows. Like, all my questions that I'd ask would purely be from a logical standpoint.
Yeah, there'd be nothing.
Right, logic. Yeah, okay, great. Anyway,
that's why we're number one.
Yep.
Okay. Let us know what you think. I'll actually be very interested to hear what people think of these 10 topics.
I think someone's going to say avocado.
Well, you know what? Actually, when you first said that, I thought avocado. And then I thought, nah, it's just a bit preppy.
It is preppy.
It's just like, it's only new. People didn't used to really eat it. Now it's all the rage. You don't really need it. It just makes shit taste good.
It's got the Derby Street vibe. Yeah,
I like Derby Street.
I like Derby Street too, but like it's just like it's just like a one, like it's the what's the word when you're like the hipsters? It's got Derby. Avocado would be a hipster. That'd be it. That'd be a hipster. But the banana is for the people. Everyday people. It's for the stinky people.
The crybabies.
For the stinky people.
The emotional crybabies.
That's sting.
Okay.
Anyway.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Talk to you on the next one.
Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If there is a topic you'd like us to discuss that we haven't already, please make sure you reach out in Facebook Messenger and we'll do our best to cover it in the upcoming episodes. For those of you enjoying the podcast, we'd love for you to like, subscribe and leave us a rating. It really helps us grow and spread the good word. Hoping you're all having a great day, and we'll be sure to see you on the next one.